So Gina Carano has finally done her first interview ever since being fired by Disney, and she did it with the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro. In this interview, Gina Carano really digs into Disney and the whole culture that surrounds Disney. So I picked out some of the most important quotes from the interview to give my opinion and break them down. And I think it'll be very interesting to see what Gina has to say about the whole situation, because it seemed like she didn't hold back at all. Let's get into it. So as you can see on the screen here, I've brought up the first quote that we're going to be breaking down. And this quote says, "I've been through so much and I've seen so much now clearly of the bullying that's been taking place. And I saw it before. I'm not the only one that's ever been bullied by this company, and I know that so deeply." She then also goes on to say, "I was prepared at any point to let go because I've seen this happen to so many people. I've seen the looks on their faces. I've seen the bullying that takes place. So when this started, you know it's only a matter of time. I've seen it happen to so many people, and I just thought to myself, you're coming for me. I know you are." But this quote confirms a theory that I had about this whole situation. And because I've been sick for the last week, I haven't been able to make videos saying this theory, but I have told it to some of my friends. And that is that I thought Gina didn't want to be fired, but almost didn't care if she was fired, and didn't really care if she lost her job at Disney. She really just wanted to speak her mind and let her opinions be known, and honestly just fight for free speech and fight against cancel culture. And she didn't really care about the repercussions too much. And she kind of confirms that here, where she says, "I was prepared at any point to let go." She pretty much sacrificed her job, her dream job, her job on The Mandalorian, working on Star Wars, a job that anyone would kill to have. She sacrificed this job to fight for free speech, fight against cancel culture, and fight against the culture that's forming at Disney right now. So I still don't think that Gina Carano wanted to get fired, but I also think that this confirms that she didn't really care too much if she got fired, and she probably had this Ben Shapiro job, this Ben Shapiro movie stuff already lined up well before she got fired. But that's me speculating even more into this. I don't know that for sure. That's just a theory that I've been having, and she confirms a lot of that theory here, but let's move on. The next quote that we're going to be looking at is highlighted on the screen once again. It says, "She also accused Disney of having a double standard, saying executives had been watching her like a hawk, but other people on the same production could say everything they want." And Gina says that that's where she had a problem. Gina says, "I had a problem because I wasn't going along with the narrative. I could share a story that would turn things around in the media, but I can't do that because it would be selling out a friend that I don't really have the same views as, but I'm not going to sell out someone to take the attention off of me. Everyone is afraid of losing their jobs." And that's something that me and all the other Star Wars YouTubers that talk about this stuff have been saying for so long. And it's that we wouldn't have a problem if both sides of the argument were getting silenced by Disney. If people like Pedro Pascal were also getting silenced and it was just fair treatment, it would be okay with me. It wouldn't be ideal. I would rather just have free speech all around, but it would make me feel a lot better knowing that everyone at Disney was getting treated equally and not based on their political views. And we didn't really need confirmation of this, but Gina does confirm it from inside. Gina confirms that people on the left are getting special treatment while people on the right and conservatives are getting the complete opposite. And to me, this is where the real problem lies. You can't silence one side of the argument and let the other one run free. So let's move on to the next quote in this article. I also do want to mention real quick that Gina did get fired over an Instagram post that supposedly compared being a conservative in America to being a Jew during the Holocaust, even though it really didn't do that. But that's what people are saying, and that's what got her fired. But she really wasn't doing that at all. But I just think it's pretty ironic that Ben Shapiro hires her immediately after that happens, because Ben Shapiro himself is Jewish. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that if she really did say something that was very offensive against Jews, I would think that Ben Shapiro wouldn't be the one to hire her, especially immediately after. Gina touches on this subject in these quotes that I have highlighted on the screen now. And this quote says, "Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views?" So as you can see, she wasn't comparing being a conservative to being a Jew during the Holocaust. She was comparing being a Jew during that time period, not even during the actual Holocaust, just around that time period, to anyone being hated for their political views, left, right, or center. The article then goes on to say that Carano insisted she wasn't trying to make comparisons, saying that she's so inspired by the gentle spirit of the Jewish people going through the Holocaust. So as I've said so many times before, she wasn't comparing being a Jew during the Holocaust to being a conservative in America today. But as I've also said so many times, I don't think that post was the right one to make if you wanted to keep your job. But as she said earlier in this interview, she just didn't care that much about keeping her job. And honestly, I've gained so much respect for Gina Carano throughout this entire situation. And her choosing the fight for free speech and the fight against cancel culture over her dream job has just given me that much more respect for her. And here I have highlighted the last quote that we'll be going over in this video. And I think this might be the most important quote. If you're someone that doesn't like Gina Carano still, just please read this quote, listen to me read this quote, and really try to understand what she's saying right here. She said, "Being canceled might become trendy one day, but don't think that when it happens to you, it's going to be easy, because it's not. It's maybe going to be one of the hardest things that you've ever been through. But each day that goes by, you find your legs again and you stop feeling sorry for yourself and you show up." She said her body is still shaking. "It's devastating, but the thought of this happening to anyone else, especially to someone who couldn't handle this the the way I can. No, they don't get to do that. They don't get to make people feel like that. So that last quote pretty much sums up all we need to know, not only about this entire situation of her being fired, but also all we need to know about Gina Carano as a person. Not only is she choosing to fight for free speech, to fight against cancel culture, the fight against the culture that's forming at Disney, like I've said before, over her dream job, but really she's just fighting for the people that will get canceled in the future. She's fighting so that other people don't have to endure the torture that she's been going through for the last year. So I think that's all I can say on this situation. Thank you, Gina Carano, for this interview. Thank you for this entire situation, and thank you for fighting the good fight. If you did enjoy this video, consider leaving a like on the video as well as subscribing to the channel. I have actually recently released some merch. If you do want to check that out, the link will be in the description. Also, if you want to find me on any of my socials, go follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff, or the link to the Discord, all of that will be in the description as well. But other than that, thanks for watching the video and hope to see you on the next one.